giving it a clap.
Well, I was born in the US, then we moved to France when I was very young, and I grew up in France till I was 19 when I moved to Boulder for college. I grew up in a very sports-oriented family. My dad has done triathlon for as long as, since I was born. He was always intense about his training and just taught us a lot of what I do now as a triathlete, just all the preparation, the details, and the consistency in training and all that. So I'd say my dad was definitely one of my main inspirations. My first triathlon win was probably when I was around 12 years old. They call them poussins when you're in France. Those are the very little guys. Well, actually, I do have a story for one of my very first races when I was very young. We have this picture with my sister and my brother, and just tiny there. And they always had these pretty loud guns at the start of the race. I didn't actually do the race. The gun was so loud. I was still there on the line, everyone started running, and I was crying because it was so loud. And that's one of my, what I remember from one of my first races. I was an introvert. I was always the type of kid that could play on his own and be totally fine. Introvert, but the happy introvert, not the guy that's just pissed at life the whole time. I was always training, even when I was younger, when a lot of the other kids weren't. I think my whole life I had the idea of being a professional athlete in my head. The sacrifices, well, the main thing is that your life becomes very unidimensional. You can't do a lot of different things. You can't go on trips and do just different activities with friends. And I feel like you have to be very focused on what you're doing day in, day out. Eat, train, sleep. To me, and that's definitely the biggest sacrifice of doing a sport at the highest level. I've never gone for things that are easy to achieve, and triathlon is just a big challenge, especially to be within the best in the world. Well, by now I pretty much expect to be in the Collins Cup. The main thing with the Collins Cup is that there's going to be 12 races happening all at once. For people watching on TV or on video, it's just gonna be very entertaining. It's not just, like in some races in Kona where the camera is just on the leader for hours. This is gonna be very dynamic. There's gonna be interviews put in and just all the races at the same time, and then calculations for the points of who's gonna win. It would just be an opportunity for me to show that American triathlon is one of the best in the world, and I can compete against the best Europeans and international athletes in the world. Europe is definitely the strongest team. I guess we always want to be the best in the world, so if I could beat Jan Frodeno or I've beaten Javier Gomez, I was gonna say him. But it would be even more satisfaction to beat someone I haven't. Lionel Sanders, Sebastian Kienle. So I hope to just be one of the new generation of athletes, the younger athletes that are the renewal, let's say, of the American long distance triathlon. First of all, just to win the Collins Cup in their first race ever in triathlon. That would be pretty historic. My message to anyone who doubts us would be that a lot of us have already beaten a lot of you, and that just never underestimates the Americans. In time of great need, Americans always rise to the occasion.